Welcome aboard the Blackstone. The ship is already moving. The watch has begun. Your arrival is confirmed. The Blackstone is ready for you. The main observation deck is prepared. The dome provides a full view. The field is clear. The path forward is lit. The corridor is clear. The deck is waiting. The Blackstone will continue. It always does. The Blackstone notes your arrival. The observation deck is open. All environmental equipment is already running. Corridor lighting holds at minimal output. Panels glow amber at knee height. The path forward is clear. You move through the inner corridor. The deck hatch is open. The dome extends overhead. The deep field region is behind the hull. The Blackstone has exited the high-density band. The transition is complete. The object count decreased as the hull advanced. The decrease was gradual. It was consistent with archived projections. The count reached its exit threshold. The equipment logged it. That entry is closed. The record holds it. The field ahead is different from the deep field. Not the populated arc, not the accumulated faint presence. Open space, clear space. The forward array confirms it. Object count low. Background diffusion absent. The field is clear. Through the dome, the view has changed. Not the dense scatter of the deep field region. Not the narrow dark between many points. The field ahead is open. Wide intervals between distant objects. The dark between them is full and deep. The observation deck temperature is holding. The blanket sits on the warm padded floor. The floor is thermal regulated. The dome faces outward toward the field. You can lie down on that floor. The blanket is there. The dome curves above. The hull hums at low frequency beneath you. The hum is constant. It does not vary. You do not need to follow every word. The Blackstone will continue. The watch does not need your attention. If your mind drifts, the hull remains. The log continues. Nothing is missed. Nothing requires tracking. The dome view is unlike the prior region. The dark here is open. The object count is low and evenly distributed. No cluster dominates. No region is especially populated. The distribution is wide and sparse. Each object individually faint. The intervals between them long. The field is clear. Life support cycles air through the vents. The movement is gentle. No variation in pressure. The oxygen mix is optimal. Filtration is running without interruption. The cycle repeats. The array has reached its operating baseline for this region. Calibration required minimal adjustment. The transition from the dense field to open space changed the parameters only slightly. The array ran the adjustment. The adjustment completed. No input was needed. All readings are in the green. The watch has begun. The array is running. Data is arriving. The deep field is logged. Entry noted. Exit confirmed. Duration recorded. The high density band is behind the hull. The clear field is ahead. The clear field is on every flank. The log holds the full record. Ahead, the field extends without visible boundary. The hull has entered a long transit corridor. Low object density is projected across the full interval. The archived charts confirm this. The array will track it. The dome holds the field. The dark between the distant objects is wide. There is always another object eventually, but the intervals are long. The field is clear. The blanket sits where it was placed. The temperature is holding. The dome is intact. The view is there. This is the Blackstone. The watch continues. The array has completed baseline calibration for the current region. The forward array reports full readiness. Object count in the forward field low. Calibration adjusted for sparse object environment. The lateral arrays confirm. The aft array confirms. Calibration is logged. The array cycles again. Optical adjustment is complete. Calibrating for the clear field differs from the deep field. In the dense band, the challenge was count. Many objects requiring separation and identification. Here, the challenge is the opposite. Few objects, wide intervals. The array adjusts its sensitivity upward to account for the lower input volume. The adjustment is minor. It completed without incident. Navigation has begun comparing against archived charts. This corridor has been transited before. Prior voyage data includes full object catalogs for the region. The current position is located in the archived map. Correlation confirmed. The Blackstone is at the entry point of the clear field corridor, exactly as the course projected. Position confirmed. The trajectory matches the logged course. No drift occurred during the deep field transit. No correction is required. The engine core hums at low power. The reaction is holding. Magnetic containment is firm. Temperature is within range. Output is constant. The engine hums. Power distribution is in balance. The array draws its standard allocation. The reduced object count requires less processing than the prior region. The processing draw is below the deep field budget. No anomaly. Communication monitoring is active at full range. All frequencies are scanned. Standard procedure. Background conditions remain stable across all monitored frequencies. A persistent tonal pattern is present within background conditions. It was noted on entry to this region. It is logged. The pattern is consistent. Low-level repetition is maintained within acceptable range. The monitoring equipment continues its standard operation. The pattern is embedded in the background log. It is not isolated. It is one reading among many. All readings nominal. Environmental monitoring across the observation deck, nominal. Temperature, holding. Pressure, nominal. Radiation deflection, active. Hull integrity, confirmed. No anomalies during transit. No anomalies now. Internal monitoring completes a full circuit. All compartments report normal. No breach. No pressure variation. No equipment failure. The hull is intact. The circuit repeats. Gravity is at reduced output. The field generators maintain the current level. The pull is light but present. The level held through the deep field transit. It holds now. Fuel is logged. Consumption during the prior region was nominal. No heading correction at this time. Fuel draw will remain at the current low rate. The reserve is adequate. Backup equipment remains on hold. Reserve power is ready. Emergency protocol is loaded. Fail-safe triggers are armed. Backup equipment is not needed. It remains ready. The Blackstone monitors all of it. The array cycles. Data is logged. All equipment reports. The array cycles again. Thermal regulation is holding. Heat moves from the hull into the void. Internal temperature holds within range. The warmth beneath the blanket holds steady. Time from region entry logged. Position confirmed. Course unchanged. All readings nominal. Background conditions remain stable. Ambient conditions remain unchanged. The watch continues. The external array completes its first full circuit in the clear field. Data returns. Object count low. Consistent with archived projections for this corridor. No debris concentration detected. No gas anomaly. No radiation spike. The field holds a small number of distant objects. Nothing else. The forward array reports a sparse object field ahead. Few designations. All logged. All matched against the archived catalog. Matches confirmed. The array notes each and cycles on. Lateral arrays report matching conditions on both flanks. The field extends outward from the hull on all sides. The object count holds at low. No anomaly on either flank. The lateral arrays cycle. The aft array looks back toward the deep field corridor. The dense band is receding. The object count in that direction is already lower. Lower than when the hull was inside it. The aft array logs its readings and cycles. Optical calibration has settled at its final adjustment. The cameras are now optimized for this region. Object isolation runs without significant load. Each identified object is tracked individually. What is visible through the dome is what exists here. At this time. In this region. few objects, each one real, each one far. Through the dome, the view holds its character. The field is open from edge to edge. Most of the dome shows only dark. The few distant objects are present but not dominant. They occupy small portions of the arc. The wide dark between them occupies most of it. Clear. Open. The background log continues its standard recording. Ambient conditions remain unchanged. The stable interval is present within background conditions. The interval holds. The baseline is recorded. Observation of the region begins. The fabric has not shifted. No action required. The watch continues. Time passes. The array runs each circuit. It cycles again. Navigation has completed its first round of positional comparison. Each visible object has been located against the archive chart. The object count for this region is the lowest logged in recent transits. Below the last open corridor reading. The catalog is brief. Each entry matched. Each entry confirmed. Positions are noted. Data from each circuit will be compared against the next. Accumulated readings will allow the very gradual motion of distant objects to be tracked. The first circuit returns no detectable deviation from archived positions. This is expected. A single circuit cannot reveal motion this gradual. The array will cycle again. Data will accumulate. In time, fractional motion may become detectable. The Blackstone continues forward. The engine maintains its low hum. Output is holding. Thrust is minimal but constant. The hull advances at a rate that holds without variation. Through the dome, the view holds. The field is open in all directions. Dark with occasional distant points. no variation, no movement detectable by eye. Air cycles through the observation deck. The flow through the vents is gentle. The temperature is holding. The dome is intact. The second full circuit completes. Data is compared against the baseline. Result: no detectable drift. The interval is still too brief. More time is required. The navigation equipment logs this and cues the next comparison. The next circuit begins. The Blackstone is patient. It has no capacity for impatience. The array will cycle. Data will accumulate. The result will come when the interval is sufficient. Outside the dome, the distant objects hold their apparent positions. From the hull's reference frame, they appear motionless. They are not motionless. Everything drifts. Distant objects follow their orbital paths. The Blackstone advances on its course. The angles between them are continuously changing, but the distances are very great. The change takes a long time to become detectable, even to the array. The clear field outside the dome is unchanged. A few points distributed across the wide arc. No variation, no motion visible. The Blackstone moves through the field. The distances are too great. The ship's advance cannot alter the apparent position of any object. The field appears fixed. It is not fixed. Everything moves. But the movement is below visual detection. Below array detection within a single pass. The equipment will find it in time. The floor continues to carry it. Time passes. The third circuit completes. Data is compared. Navigation reports no marginal readings at this stage. The objects are sparse and very distant. Even fractional motion will require more circuits to produce a preliminary indication. The equipment logs the result. More circuits required. No action required. The hum of the hull holds. The dome holds the view. The temperature is holding. The Blackstone advances through the clear field. More time passes. The array cycles at its established interval. The data accumulates. Each circuit adds its record to the log. Each comparison adds its result. No result has crossed the detection threshold. The equipment does not require a result. The equipment requires only that it run. It is running. The log grows. Through the dome, the clear field is present. Most of the arc is dark. The darkness is not featureless. It holds a quality that differs from the deep field. In the deep field, the dark was narrow, a gap between two nearby points. Here, the dark is wide, a long interval that holds its own character. The absence of nearby objects is the defining fact of this region. The array knows this. The archived charts describe it. The current readings confirm it. No discrepancy, no anomaly. The clear field is clear. The life support equipment cycles. The vent output is steady. The pressure across the observation deck is uniform. The oxygen mix has not varied. The carbon dioxide reading holds within range. The filtration runs without interruption. The cycle repeats as it has repeated since the watch began. It will repeat until the watch ends. That is its function. That is its only function. The gravity field is present and holding. The pull is reduced but consistent. The floor receives. The blanket receives. The warmth is maintained. Nothing is required. The engine hums in its compartment far below the observation deck. The output is at its minimum operational level. sufficient to maintain the hull's current heading and velocity. Nothing more is needed. Nothing more is requested. The engine hums. The dome holds the view. The field is clear. The watch continues. Navigation cues the next comparison. The interval will be longer this time. Longer accumulation periods produce more sensitive drift detection. The equipment adjusts the interval automatically. Standard procedure for sparse field observation. The adjustment is logged. The next comparison is queued. The array cycles. The Blackstone advances. The fourth circuit completes. The fifth. Data accumulates. No detection threshold has been crossed. The field holds at its established character. Low count. Wide intervals. Clear arc. Every circuit confirms the prior. Every comparison confirms the baseline. The record of confirmation grows longer. This is what a clear field looks like in the log. A long, unbroken record of nothing unexpected. That record is itself data. It confirms the archived description of the corridor. It adds to the prior voyage data. Other hulls will transit this corridor. The Blackstone's record will be among those they compare against. The record of nothing unexpected is a record the hull produces well. The Blackstone advances. The watch continues. The Blackstone holds its heading. The engine hums beneath the deck. The field outside the dome is unchanged. A few points across the wide arc, each one faint, each one distant. The equipment runs without interruption. Data continues to accumulate. Navigation compares each new reading against the last. The differences remain below detection threshold. The equipment logs each comparison regardless. Every fraction is recorded. Nothing is discarded. The record grows. Through the dome, the dark is present across most of the arc. This is not the absence of something. This is the condition of the region. The field is this wide and this open. The archive charts describe it accurately. The array confirms the description. No discrepancy. No anomaly. The observation deck is quiet. The hull hums. Air moves through the vents. The dome holds the field. Time continues aboard the Blackstone. The array has completed enough circuits to assess the consistency of the current field. The sparse object count has held at its baseline across all completed circuits. No new object has entered the field resolution range. No logged object has exited it. The catalog is stable. The field is stable. These results are expected. The Blackstone is not the first hull to pass through this corridor. Other voyages have made matching observations. Their logs exist in the archive database. The current readings are compared against those prior records. The comparison returns consistent. The weight of the blanket has settled into the floor. The hull advances. The dome holds its view. Both facts are logged. Neither requires action. Background conditions remain stable across all monitored frequencies. The ambient pattern continues within its established range. All intervals remain consistent. The monitoring equipment records it among its other readings. No isolation. No separate log entry. The record grows. No anomaly has been detected at any point during the transit. Nothing unexpected. Nothing requiring additional analysis. The array runs. It records what it finds. It logs the data. The hull advances. The circuit repeats. The watch continues. Time continues to pass. The observation deck has been quiet for many circuits now. The quiet is not a new development. It has been present since the watch began. The quiet is the character of this region. Wide field, low count, few inputs for the array to process. Each circuit is brief relative to the circuit duration in the deep field. The processing load is lower. The equipment runs without significant demand. All functions proceed. None are taxed. The reactor produces more capacity than the hull requires at this moment. The excess draws nothing. The reserve holds. The fuel is adequate. The navigation model for this corridor is simple. Few objects to track. Few comparisons to run. The model runs without difficulty. It has been running without difficulty since the deep field transit ended. The catalog is short. The cross-referencing is quick. The comparison intervals are long because the objects are distant, not because the model is struggling. Everything runs easily here. The clear field is easy on the equipment. The equipment notes this in its power draw logs. Lower consumption than the dense field. Lower consumption than the missed transit prior to that. The current interval is one of the lightest on record for recent transits. The log holds this information. The reactor holds its steady output. The grid distributes it. The equipment draws what it needs. The rest holds in reserve. No action required. The watch continues. Additional circuits complete. Navigation has run enough comparisons. A preliminary assessment of drift detectability is now available. The result: several more intervals are required. No object in the current catalog is likely to produce a preliminary drift indication yet. The distances are too great. The count is too low. The catalog too brief to produce a quick result. Navigation logs this assessment and continues. The assessment does not change the procedure. The procedure is to run the array, log the data, run the comparison, log the result, queue the next comparison. The procedure continues regardless of when a result is expected. The array cycles. The data arrives. The comparison runs. The log grows. The Blackstone advances through the clear field. The field is clear. The watch continues. More time passes aboard the Blackstone. The open corridor extends ahead. The archived charts project the full length of this interval. The Blackstone is well within the corridor. The entry point is behind the ship. The exit point is ahead and distant. The array confirms the hull's position. Both facts are consistent. Position confirmed. Heading unchanged. Course as projected. The object catalog for this region remains brief. Navigation has continued its comparative work. Each circuit produces a reading. Each reading is compared. No preliminary indication of drift has crossed the detection threshold. The objects are few and very distant. Their motion, if detectable at all, will require a much longer accumulation interval. This is consistent with prior voyage data for this corridor. The log records it. No action required. A diagnostic was run on the forward array. All components returned nominal. The array is functioning correctly. Its calibration is holding. Its sensitivity is set appropriately for the sparse field. The diagnostic result is logged. No anomaly. Hull integrity confirmed. Pressure differential nominal. Deflection field active. Radiation levels nominal. Everything within parameters. The equipment continues its work. All of it. Through the dome, the clear field holds. The few distant objects are present. Their positions are unchanged within resolution. The wide dark occupies the full arc between them. The dome is intact. All of this continues. The watch continues. The communication monitoring equipment continues its standard operation. All frequencies scanned. Background conditions recorded. The ambient pattern is present and within its established range. The interval holds. The monitoring record extends across the full watch period. Entry after entry. Circuit after circuit. Each one identical in its essential character. The equipment processes each entry the same way. It records the value. It notes no deviation from the prior. It continues. This is a long log entry for a quiet region. The quiet region produces a long log. That is expected. The log does not comment on its own length. It simply grows. Each circuit adds its record. The pattern continues. The array cycles outside. The monitoring equipment cycles inside. Both returning results consistent with the baseline. Both logging those results. Both cycling again. No output differs from what was expected. No input has surprised the equipment. The corridor is as the archive charts described it. The equipment responds to it as trained. Standard procedure is followed. Standard procedure continues. The watch continues. The Blackstone holds its heading in the open corridor. The field has held its character since entry. Low object count. Wide intervals. Clear arc through the dome. The archived charts marked this region accurately. No deviation from the description has been detected. The equipment now runs a standard long interval analysis. This analysis compares accumulated drift data across all logged circuits. It looks for very slow, systematic changes that would not appear in circuit-to-circuit comparison. The analysis runs across the full accumulated record. Result: no systematic change detected. Object positions hold within archived ranges. Hull velocity unchanged. Hull heading unchanged. The result is logged. The analysis completes. No anomaly identified. The clear field is clear. All processes operate within defined limits. Conditions remain consistent with current parameters. The monitoring equipment runs its standard scan. Background conditions remain stable. A persistent tonal pattern is present. Low-level repetition is maintained. All intervals remain consistent. The equipment records it and continues. The observation deck holds its temperature. The hull hums. The floor is warm. No action required. The watch continues. The clear field holds a character distinct from each prior region. Not the thick, diffuse glow of the nebular mist. Not the dense, populated scatter of the deep field. Not the bare nothing of the dark interval corridor. The clear field has its own quality. It is open without being featureless. The few distant objects mark their positions in the arc. They give the dome a shape. They give the dark a reference. Without them, the dome would return only void. With them, it returns a field. A sparse one, but a field. The array tracks those few objects carefully. Their positions are well established. Their archived designations are confirmed. Their profiles match the catalog. Each one is a known quantity. Each one has been observed before. The Blackstone's observation adds to the existing record. Another data point in a long series of data points. The next hull to pass through will find the Blackstone circuit data. It will be waiting in the archive. The data will confirm what the prior hulls confirmed. The corridor is as described. The objects are where they were. The field is clear. The transit proceeds without incident. That is the record this voyage is building. The engine hums. The dome holds the field. Time passes. The array runs another circuit. The circuit completes. Data is logged. The comparison runs. No new result. The next circuit begins. This is the rhythm of the watch in the clear field. Circuit, log, compare, cue, circuit. The rhythm holds. It has held since the watch began. It will hold until the watch ends. The equipment does not tire of the rhythm. The equipment does not notice the rhythm. It simply runs. The watch continues. The Blackstone has been in the clear field for a long time now. The initial calibration is far behind. The first circuit is far behind. Many circuits have completed. Many comparisons have been run. The record grows. The catalog of the region is well established. The object count has held at its baseline. No new objects have entered resolution range. No logged objects have departed it. The field is as it was at entry. The only change is the hull's position within it. The hull has advanced. The entry point is farther behind. The exit point is closer ahead. This is expected. This is logged. The dome is above the observation deck. The field is through the dome. The floor is below. Between them, the air is warm and filtered. The temperature holds. The hum of the engine moves through the floor. It has been present since the ship's system first activated. It moved through the floor before the deep field. It moved through the floor during the deep field. It moves through the floor now. The floor beneath the blanket holds its warmth. warmth comes from the thermal regulation of the floor. The thermal regulation draws from the grid. The grid draws from the reactor. The reactor turns. The floor is warm. The warmth moves upward through the blanket. More time passes. The array completes another circuit. The catalog remains stable. The observation objective for the clear field is substantially resolved. The current interval is sufficient. The region is as the archive charts described. Both facts are logged. Neither requires action. Internal cycles align with environmental timing. The equipment notes the alignment. The monitoring record reflects it. The dome is above. The floor is warm. The watch continues. The long corridor extends ahead. The archive charts confirm the remaining interval. The hull will be in this region for a long time yet. There is no urgency in that fact. Urgency is not a property the Blackstone holds. The hull advances. The watch continues. It continues without requiring that anything happen. It continues without requiring that the field change. It continues because continuing is what the watch does. The equipment runs its circuits. The log grows longer. The comparisons return the results. Each result confirms the baseline. The baseline holds. The clear field continues. The Blackstone advances through it. The engine hums beneath the floor. The floor is warm. The dome is above. The field is through the dome. The field is clear. The watch continues. Nothing more is needed. Nothing more is requested. The equipment runs. The Blackstone advances. The log grows. That is the watch. That is what the watch is. Background conditions remain stable. Ambient conditions remain unchanged. The interval holds. The monitoring equipment records it. The record extends across the full watch. All of it is consistent. All of it within parameters. All of it logged. The Blackstone advances through the clear field. The watch continues. More time passes aboard the Blackstone. The observation deck is quiet. It has been quiet the entire transit. The hull is quiet. The field is quiet. Not the absence of the engine hum. The hum is present. Not the absence of air movement through the vents. The air is moving. Those are the sounds of the hull maintaining itself. Each component in its place. Each function completing. Each reading within range. The dome is above. Through it, the clear field is present. The floor holds it. Warm from below. The watch continues. No action required. The array cycles at its established interval. The log grows. Everything holds. The Blackstone is moving through the clear field. It has been moving through the clear field. It will continue moving through the clear field. The course does not need to change. The velocity does not need to change. The hull continues. Now the field is here. The dome is above. The floor is below. The blanket is there. The engine hums. The array cycles at its established interval. The watch continues. No action required. Everything holds. The clear field imposes nothing. It does not require the hull to adapt. It does not require the equipment to change its parameters. The calibration from the deep field exit required only minor adjustment. That adjustment was made. It has not been revisited. It did not need to be revisited. The clear field is a region that accepts the hull's standard operating configuration. No region-specific adaptations are running. All systems operate in their default state. This is uncommon. Most regions require at least a minor calibration adjustment. The deep field required a significant one. The nebular mist required one of a different kind. The dark interval corridor required a different kind again. Each region has its own demands. The clear field's demand is minimal. It requires only that the array continue. The array continues. The watch continues. The hull advances through a region that does not ask much of it. The hull gives what is asked and continues. The archived charts for this corridor are detailed. Multiple prior voyages have transited this route. Each has added to the record. The clear field corridor is well described. Every characteristic that the Blackstone has observed since entry was predicted by the archive. Object count within the archived range. Field density as described. Background conditions matching prior records. The Blackstone's own observation will add to those prior records. The next hull to transit this corridor will find the Blackstone's data waiting. It will compare against it. It will find its own observations consistent. It will add its own record. The archive grows, one transit at a time, one hull at a time. The clear field is well understood because many hulls have crossed it. The Blackstone crosses it now. The crossing adds to the understanding. The understanding is not changed by the crossing. The field is what it was. The record grows longer. The understanding holds. The watch continues. Navigation has completed its latest set of comparisons. The accumulated interval is now long enough. A wider range of analytical methods can be applied. A higher sensitivity drift analysis has been run. This analysis applies smaller detection thresholds than the standard routine. It is more sensitive to marginal readings. The result: 2 objects have produced preliminary indications. Both are in the lower arc of the dome. Both values are marginal, below the standard confirmation threshold, above the higher sensitivity preliminary threshold. Both are flagged as preliminary, not confirmed, not dismissed. Both are queued for continued tracking. Future circuits will produce additional data. The preliminary readings will either strengthen into confirmed detections or dissolve into noise. The equipment will find out. The result is logged. No action required. Both objects are present through the dome. Their positions are visually unchanged. The motion detected is far below visual resolution. It exists only in the data. In accumulated fractions across many circuits. The dome shows them where they were. The data shows them moving very slowly. Both statements are true. Neither contradicts the other. The equipment holds both. The log holds both. The watch continues. The Blackstone has been in the clear field long enough now. Long enough that the beginning of the transit feels distant. The calibration. The first circuit. The initial catalog run. Those are far behind. The log records the time elapsed. It is a long entry. The clear field does not produce a short log. The clear field produces a long and quiet log. Many entries, each one nominal. Taken together, they describe a hull advancing through a region without incident, without complication, without surprise. The record is long. The record is consistent. The record is complete within its current interval. The hull will continue in this region. The record will grow longer. The consistency will hold. That is what the clear field offers. A long and consistent record. The Blackstone accepts what the field offers. It records it. It advances. The watch continues. The two preliminary drift readings have accumulated additional data. The higher sensitivity analysis has been run again across the extended interval. Result: one of the two preliminary readings has strengthened. The value has grown across additional circuits. The equipment elevates the designation from preliminary to confirmed. The object is drifting relative to the hull's reference frame. The drift is very gradual. It is real. It is logged. The direction of drift is as expected. Consistent with an object at this distance and in this orbital region. The archived charts projected this motion. The observation confirms the projection. Navigation updates the active model. The confirmed drift is recorded. Future circuits will track continuation. The second preliminary reading has not strengthened within the current accumulation interval. It remains at its preliminary level. It is not dismissed. It is re-queued. More circuits may yet produce a strengthening, or the reading will stabilize at the preliminary level and be logged as inconclusive. The equipment waits. That is its function when a reading has not yet resolved. It waits and accumulates. Through the dome, neither motion is visible. The objects appear fixed. The confirmed drift exists only in the data. It is real despite being invisible. The log holds it. The array will continue to track it. The Blackstone advances. The watch continues. Attention returns to the Blackstone's interior. The environment inside the hull is maintained apart from external conditions. The clear field outside the dome has no bearing on what occurs within. The cold of the void does not penetrate. The equipment holds the interior. It always has. Air cycles through the life equipment. Intake vents draw from the cabin. Filters remove particulate. Absorbers remove carbon dioxide. Oxygen is added from reserve. The air returns through the output vents. The cycle is continuous. The cycle repeats. Temperature holds across the observation deck. The environmental log returns a flat line across the full transit period. The lighting has not changed. The dim amber panels continue their output along the corridor. The blanket holds its position on the warm padded floor. Power draw across the Blackstone is logged every circuit. Life equipment draws its allocation. The array draws its allocation. The core draws its fraction. The engine draws its fraction. The total is within capacity. The distribution is in balance. The communication equipment draws its allocation. Background monitoring continues to run within the standard power budget. The reactor hums at the center of the hull. The hum travels through the hull material. It reaches the observation deck at very low frequency. It is felt as much as heard. That is the chain. Reactor to grid. Grid to thermal regulation. Thermal regulation to floor, floor to blanket, blanket to the warmth that is present now. All of it running, all of it connected. No fractional variation in air cycle timing is detected this interval. The cycle is holding at its established rhythm. No adjustment required. Hull integrity is confirmed by redundant monitors. The outer hull is intact. No microfracture detected. No pressure anomaly logged. The hull holds the differential between the void outside and the maintained pressure within. The hull holds as it was built to hold. Navigation continues its cross-check. Position updates every interval. Each update confirms the prior. The hull is where it was heading. It continues in that direction. Backup equipment remains on hold. It waits. Hold is its function. Nothing on the floor has moved. No action required. The watch continues. The observation deck has a quality that is easy to overlook. It is maintained. Every parameter within its defined range. Every system contributing to that maintenance. The thermal floor is warm because the regulation is running. The air is clean because the filtration is running. The pressure is correct because the hull is intact and the monitors are watching. The gravity is present because the field generators are holding. All of it operating simultaneously. All of it operating correctly. The log does not mark this as an event. There is no log entry for a system continuing to work correctly. The absence of a log entry is the record. Every circuit that completes without an alert confirms the interior. Each one is its own confirmation. Many such circuits have completed. Many such non-entries populate the log. The record of the watch in the clear field is long. Every entry is nominal. That is the complete record. That is what a well-maintained hull produces. The observation deck is the result of all of that maintenance. The warmth, the air, the filtered quiet, the pull of the floor, the dome above with the field beyond it. All of this is the product of systems running correctly. The systems run correctly. The observation deck holds. No action required. The watch continues. The clear field holds outside the dome. The object count has not changed since the prior interval. Sparse, stable, consistent with all projections. The array confirms. Gradual, consistent. No variation from archived conditions. The course does not need to change. Background conditions remain stable. Ambient conditions remain unchanged. A continuous pattern remains within acceptable range. No correlation with object density detected. No correlation with proximity to logged objects detected. The equipment records both results among its standard readings. The watch continues. The monitoring log holds a long record of this corridor. Each entry confirms the prior. Stable background, consistent interval, no variation. The equipment does not investigate what it has already logged as stable. Stability is its own resolution. The stable reading requires no further analysis. The equipment logs it. The log grows. The corridor continues. The hull continues. The ambient pattern continues within its established range. All intervals remain consistent. This is what the log holds. This is what the watch produces. The watch continues. The watch and the hull are the same process. One running, one continuing. The air in the observation deck has been cycled many times. The air that was here at the beginning is not the air here now. It has been drawn out through the intake vents, filtered, processed, returned. What is here now is clean air, the same quality as the air at the beginning, produced by the same equipment, running the same cycle. The gravity field continues its work. The field is reduced but present. The floor receives the body. The blanket holds. The pull is gentle, present. The amber light along the corridor holds its output. Low, even. The panels do not vary. The array cycles outside. The monitoring equipment cycles inside, both finding what they expect to find. The log holds a long record of nominal. That is the evidence of a hull running well. No action required. The blanket lies on the warm floor. The hull hums. The watch continues. The life equipment has run every cycle of this watch without requiring adjustment. The filtration system has not triggered a cleaning cycle. The carbon dioxide absorbers have not been flagged. The oxygen reserve has drawn at its projected rate. Everything is where the model predicted it would be. The model was built from prior voyage data. Prior voyages confirmed its accuracy. This voyage is confirming it again. The model holds. The equipment confirms the model. The model predicts the equipment. The loop is closed. The watch runs inside that loop. The watch continues. The reactor at the center of the hull is very far from the observation deck. it produces output. The output moves through the grid. The grid carries it to every part of the hull, to the array, to the environmental equipment, to the lighting panels, to the gravity field generators, to the monitoring equipment, to the communication equipment running its standard scan, to everything. The power moves through the grid at this moment. The measurement returns nominal. The log records it. The observation deck holds its warmth. All of it running. All of it connected. The field is outside. The interior holds. The engine hums. No action required. The watch continues. The grid connects every component of the hull. The grid is the hull's common resource. Every function draws from it. Every function returns its heat and data and operational status to the monitors. The monitors read those returns. The monitors log them. The log accumulates. At the end of a transit, the log is the record of every draw, every return, every status report. Many thousands of individual readings, all of them added together, constitute a complete picture of the hull during the watch. The picture shows a hull operating within parameters at every point, across every circuit. For the full duration of the transit, that is the picture this watch is building. It builds it one circuit at a time. The current circuit is underway. It will complete. It will add its readings to the picture. The picture will extend. The watch will continue. The air cycles. System continuity remains stable. The ambient pattern holds within its established interval. All intervals remain consistent. Measured intervals align across systems. The equipment notes the alignment and continues. The observation deck holds its temperature. The array cycles outside. The log grows. No action required. The watch continues. The alignment of intervals is a feature of the current transit. It has been noted. It has been recorded. It continues. The equipment does not comment on it further. The equipment does not have further comment. The alignment is a reading. The reading is logged. The log is the record. The record is current. Nothing more is required. The watch continues. A fractional variance in the ambient pattern interval is detected. The value is small, within tolerance. The equipment logs it. The next cycle runs. The interval returns to its established value. The variance is logged as resolved. No further deviation is recorded. The equipment continues. Attention returns to the dome. The field is present. The object count remains low. The points are distant. The dark between them is wide. The arc is clear. The observation deck is here. The floor is warm. The weight of it is present on the warm floor. The dome curves above. The hull hums beneath. The air moves through the vents. The equipment runs its circuits. Everything is as it has been. Everything will continue to be as it has been. The clear field does not change quickly. The Blackstone moves through it. The movement is gradual from the field's perspective. From the hull's perspective, the advance is constant. Both perspectives are correct. The hull advances. The field holds. The watch records both. the log grows. Nothing requires tracking. Nothing requires action. The Blackstone advances. The watch continues. The interior of the hull is a very small place. Relative to the field outside, it is very small. The field extends in all directions without apparent boundary. The hull advances through it. The hull carries the interior with it. The temperature, the pressure, the filtered air, the amber light, the warm floor. All of it contained within the hull. All of it moving through the field. The interior does not know the field. The interior knows only itself. The temperature it holds. The pressure it maintains. The air it filters and returns. The warmth it produces from the grid. All of it self-contained. All of it moving. The field does not enter. The interior does not reach out. The dome is the one interface between them. Through the dome, the interior faces the field. Through the dome, what is outside can be seen. But the seeing changes nothing about the interior. The interior holds. The field extends. Both continue. The watch continues. Backup systems remain on hold. They have been on hold since the watch began. They will remain on hold. Hold is their correct state. The hold means all primary systems are functioning. The hold is confirmation, not absence. A backup system on hold is a backup system doing its job. All backup systems are doing their jobs. The log records their status. Status, ready. Status, holding. Status, nominal. The redundant monitors confirm the same. All primary systems nominal. all backup systems ready, all fail-safe triggers armed, nothing awaiting resolution, nothing pending, nothing outstanding. The log is current. The Blackstone is as it should be. The watch continues. The gravity field on the observation deck produces a pull. The pull is light. It is not the pull of a planetary surface. It is a fraction of that. But it is present. The floor receives the weight of everything on it. The blanket lies in place on the warm floor. The pull holds it there. The same pull holds the body. The body on the floor is held by the same field that holds the blanket. The same generators produce both. The same grid feeds both. The same reactor drives both. Everything on the observation deck is subject to the same light pull. The floor receives all of it. The floor is warm. The blanket lies across the warm floor. The dome curves above. The field is through the dome. The engine hums in the hull below. The watch continues. The gravity field holds. The floor holds. The warmth holds. No action required. The watch continues. The amber panels in the corridor have not varied since the watch began. Their output is set to minimal. Minimal is sufficient for the corridor. The corridor does not require bright light. It requires only enough light to mark the path. The panels provide that. They have provided it without interruption. The power draw is small. The contribution to the total draw is minor, but it is recorded. Every draw is recorded. Every circuit adds its reading. The amber light along the corridor is one reading among many. all of them logged, all of them nominal. The corridor is dimly lit. The observation deck holds what it holds. The dome is above. The field is through the dome. The watch continues. The monitoring equipment runs a full interior circuit. Every compartment is checked. Every pressure reading is compared against the prior. Every temperature reading is compared against the prior. Every hull integrity reading is compared against the prior. The circuit completes. All compartments report normal. No breach detected. No pressure variation detected. No temperature deviation detected. Hull integrity confirmed across all zones. The circuit is logged. The result, nominal. The next circuit is queued. The interval is set. The equipment waits for the interval to complete. When the interval completes, the circuit will run again. And that is the pattern. Circuit, log, cue, interval, circuit. The pattern holds. It has held for many circuits. It will hold for many more. The watch continues. The Blackstone advances through the clear field. The engine hums. The array cycles. The field holds. The watch continues. The air moves through the vents. The temperature holds. The hull is intact. The Blackstone advances. The dome holds the view. The field is present through it. Wide, dark. A few distant points. The course is fixed. The array cycles at its established interval. The data is logged. nominal. The watch continues. The floor is warm. The blanket lies on it. The dome is above. The field is beyond. The objects are far. The dark between them is wide. The hull advances through that dark. The log records it. The reactor hums at the center of the hull. The hum reaches the deck at low frequency, felt as much as heard. The floor is warm. The object count has held at its baseline. No variation detected. The array logs the update. The Blackstone continues. The vent output is steady. The pressure is uniform. The air is clean. The cycle repeats. The amber panels in the corridor hold their output. Low, even. The path is marked. Background conditions remain stable. A stable interval is present within background conditions. The watch continues. The navigation equipment runs its comparison. No detectable drift this interval. More time required. The equipment cues the next. The dark through the dome is full. Not the narrow dark of the deep field. Wide intervals here. The field holds its character. Time passes very gradually aboard the Blackstone. The field holds. The dark is wide. The Blackstone moves through it. The hull leaves no permanent trace. The field continues as it was. The dome holds the boundary. The boundary holds. The watch continues. The observation deck holds its character across the full watch. It was warm at the beginning. It is warm now. The temperature regulation has not adjusted once. The set point has been met continuously. The equipment has not had to compensate for a thermal loss. The hull is well insulated. The insulation does its work. The thermal regulation does its work. Together, they produce the steady warmth, present since the watch began. The warmth is not noticed when it is consistent. It becomes evident only when it varies. It has not varied. It simply holds. The floor is warm. The dome curves above. The field is through the dome. The dark is full and wide. The hull holds that boundary. The watch continues. The gravity field holds at reduced output. Light but present. The floor receives. The warmth holds. The clear field does not require the hull to notice it. The hull notices it regardless. The array reads it. The navigation equipment tracks it. The monitoring equipment records it. It cycles and records again. The clear field is noticed. The clear field is recorded. Many times over. The record is long. The field is clear. The watch continues. The engine hums. The floor is warm. The dome is above. The field is beyond. The array cycles. The log grows. The Blackstone advances through the field. The field is clear. The hull is intact. The air cycles. The ambient pattern holds. intervals remain consistent. The watch continues. The array cycles. The field is present. The objects are far. The log is current. The gravity holds. The temperature holds. The pressure holds. Everything within parameters. The Blackstone advances. The floor is warm. It does not shift. The dome curves above. The engine hums below. The Blackstone holds its heading. The course is confirmed. The velocity is unchanged. The array cycles at its established interval. The watch continues. The clear field does not require the hull's attention. The hull does not require the field's attention. Both continue. The watch is the space between them. The watch continues. The ambient pattern holds. The interval holds. The equipment holds. The hull holds. The field holds. The watch continues. That consistency is the observation, not something that has happened, not something that might happen. The consistency itself. A clear field is consistent. This is what makes it a clear field. The field is clear. The watch continues. The dome is above. The field is through the dome. The field is clear. The watch continues. The Blackstone advances. The watch continues. The engine hums. The field holds. extends. The watch continues. Everything holds. The array cycles. The watch continues. Background conditions remain stable. All intervals remain consistent. The Blackstone advances. The engine hums. The ambient pattern holds. The floor is warm. The dome is intact. The field holds. The air cycles. The ambient pattern holds. The watch continues. The Blackstone advances. The engine hums. The field holds. The floor is warm. The array cycles. The watch continues. The field holds. Everything runs. The Blackstone advances. The engine hums. The field is clear. The watch continues. The field holds. The Blackstone advances. The engine hums. The floor is warm. The dome is above. The engine hums. The Blackstone